I'm not a blind person, I'm just me. When people remind me I'm blind, it's as much of a wake-up call to me as anyone else. I don't wake up in the morning and think I am blind. I don't go to the front door when the doorbell rings and think I am blind. I am just me. And I forget to tell some people that I am blind, especially callers at the door. I don't think it's wise to tell everyone.
90% of people will say, just randomly in a conversation, because they're thinking about, oh, you must have better hearing. I'm just thinking, like, when I was a really little kid, I said yeah, because obviously I just thought, no, I don't know. You just don't know how to use it properly. My human body, and it's even more proof of this, that, you know, because somehow people start to assume that a blind person's body specifically was redesigned itself as a blind person's body. You know what I mean? It knew when it was in the womb, oh, I'm going to be blind. Like, you know, I'm going to redesign and have special blind arms and ears and like a face and stuff. But obviously what they got to think of my situation, which for someone who's not so intelligent would realise that everyone's the same, is that I wasn't born a blind person. I was born totally sighted, so my body came out as, quotes, normal, as they'd like to think. You know, I was a normal human being, and then obviously that happened and the rest of me didn't change. You know, I was still that human being that I would have been if, say, my sight was saved.
One day I was in a car travelling down to Wales, and I don't know what the time was, but I said to my brother, this is ridiculous. The sun is so bright, it's hurting my head. And he said, well, it's dark. And I had a migraine. And I thought it was still light perception. So, no light perception, not that I know of. Occasionally, there's a tiny piece of sight somewhere that occasionally I get a flash, but I can never find a light with it because your eyes oscillate slightly. Anyway, I can't hold my eyes still enough to find a light permanently. When I play I Spy with the children, they always win because I say EG and it's elephant grey. What I actually see is elephant grey with sparkles. If you ever saw Star Trek when it first came out, when they were beamed up, they used to go all sparkly, and that's what I see all the time, is the twinkly. It's very pretty. It's quite soothing, really. A friend of mine said that she sees it as the snow on television when you've got interference. So, but mine's more... I could be accused of saying that I sometimes think I see shapes in it, but I'm sure that's the brain trying to make something of the nothing it sees.
Well, I've been registered blind now for nearly 20 years. If you can imagine when you were a child and you were walking along a little brook or a stream or something like that, and you took a stick and you stirred it all up, that's pretty much what I see. And if you can throw in the sort of sudden flashes of light that you would get perhaps shooting down from the sun reflecting on the water, that's pretty much what I have. And also there's the light sensitivity where it's a sudden but sustained, and then I will be able to think, what was that then? But if it's there all the time, it wouldn't be anything I would actually notice.
In my right eye, I have virtually no vision at all. I see shadows and shapes. In my left eye, I'm talking to you and I can just see, a brighter, it's brighter than this eye, but it's a shape. I can't see your face, I can't see your features, but I know that you're there, whereas with my right eye, it could just, I would be wondering if you were sitting there quietly, is that somebody sitting there? But with this, my left eye, I do know that you're there, but I cannot see you clearly. And that applies to everything. And also I've got lots of what they call floaters in my left eye, and apparently that comes from the fluid that has leaked from the behind the retina. And my eye is full of like a black mesh and spiders' webs and things like that. They're there in that eye all the time.
As it is, I've got no peripheral vision, just central. It's like looking through a letterbox, you know. And I suffer with night blindness. Can't see at all in the dark or in very bright sunlight. It's just a blur. You know? Sometimes I can look at something and I look away from it. When I look back, I can't find it. it just gets out of my line of vision, you know. But I can always find a point. Strange that.
I mean, as we're sitting here now, which is in very good light, I can see there's crisscrossing on the unit over there because of the contrast of the dark against the light. If I look around here, I can see a dark object which I know to be an incense burner on top of the unit. The rest of it is a light grey, but with just some patches of things. With me, it's come on steadily to the extent that 7 years ago I was registered as blind. I'm using what we call residual sight. You know, it's what's left. And with me, I'm able to look down a pavement, for example, and because pavements generally are long and straight, I can see that it may be lighter than the dark of the walls and trees and whatever either side. And if, for example, I'm out on my pavement here, I can actually see probably 50, 75 metres of this very indistinct but greyness in a straight line. And for me, I know then all I've got to do is use my